Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying your coffee or beverage of choice. I am Amanda Savage, Vice Chair of the Plan New Hampshire Board of Directors. I will be leading us this morning through the virtual town hall. So on camera with us this morning is Robin LeBlanc, Stephanie Crotto. They've also been participating and will be participating throughout this presentation. Brian Pratt is behind the scenes. You'll see him later in the presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So Stephanie, if you'll, thank you. So here's a layout for today's town hall meeting. During this format, I encourage you to engage with us. Let us know if you have any questions. There should be a chat box on the right side of your control panel. Please ask questions as we go along. Brian Pratt, as I mentioned, is on behind the scenes. He will be monitoring your questions and we'll be able to address them at the end of the presentation. There will be one other point about midway that we will have a poll. So you lovely participants, we hope that you will give us some feedback. So now I'm gonna, first I'd like to talk a little bit about our mission, speak briefly about our organization, and as a refresher to all of us and an introduction to new members, you know, Plan New Hampshire has had a vision of healthy and vibrant communities across the state. You know, our mission is to foster the excellence in planning, design, and development of New Hampshire built environment. And our strategy has been to share that information and inspiration for how community design and built environment can contribute positively to where we live, where we work, where we play. So I'm going to introduce our executive director, Robin. Robin is a resident of Portsmouth. She's been on the Plan Board of Directors since 2006, and she served as our executive director for almost 12 years. Robin, I'll turn it over to you for a few welcoming comments.
Thanks, Amanda. And welcome, everyone. This is so great, and this is the first time that we've ever done this. You know, there's a lot of changes going on right now in our world and in our state and in our industries. And Plan has wanted to stay relevant. And we've been thinking about what can we do for you? How can we continue to foster our mission and execute our mission when we can't get together, and what do we need to be thinking about through executing that mission. So this is a time we just wanted to bring you up to date as to what we're thinking about and what we're up to, and we really want your feedback because we're doing this for you, and we hope that that there's something here that will inspire you. But please do ask those questions, make those comments. We do want to hear from you. Thanks, and back to Amanda.
Thank you, Robin. I'd like to introduce our executive board. Brian Garris, he is chairman of the board from Milestone Engineering. Brian has been a member of the board since 2016. As you see myself on there as well, from North Branch, resident of Concord, and I joined the board last June. Kelly DeMore, treasurer, from Nathan Wexler. Kelly joined us last year on the board. She's been a great asset. Carolyn Corvo, secretary from Warren Street Architects. Carolyn's been participating on our board since 2016. So I want to say thanks to all of those on the executive board. And a special thank you today, as you saw Stephanie earlier, Stephanie Crotto from Crotto Consulting Agency. She's been chair of our Marketing and Communications Committee. She's joined us on the board last year as well. Stephanie's been a really great resource for us. We really appreciate all the work that she's done. Today, she's put this presentation together on the PowerPoint. She's been behind the scenes and creating some of that website content that we will reveal to you later. Also, a special thanks to Brian Pratt of Frantz ONeill. He has been, quote unquote, our technology guru for the board. We really appreciate all that he's been contributing to our board. He's also on the Charettes and membership committee. Thank you, Brian, for all that you're doing today as well. But, you know, most of all, we wouldn't be able to do this without a special thank you to Frantz ONeill for hosting this webinar, allowing Plan New Hampshire to use their account to keep this connected and to our members such as you. So we would not be able to do this without their assistance. So thank you so much, Frantz ONeill. So let's meet the rest of the board. Bob White from GPI, Bruce Hamilton to BRH Architects, Chris Solomon from Sam & Delia, Derek Lick from Sullivan Hollis, Fred Richards from Masiello Group, Heather Rowan from Kimball, James Harrison, Cross Insurance, Jamie Simchek from Simchek Planning and Development, North Sturvant from JSA, and Bill Hickey from HL Turner. So we've got a lot of new people on our board, so it's keeping us a lot of energy going. So we thank all of you for volunteering and putting your time forward to the board of directors. So, you know, it's like many other nonprofits. Plan New Hampshire relies on events and membership as a revenue stream. So we wanted just to be in front of you guys and be transparent about what we're doing and our outlook for 2020. You know, we've had to cancel or postpone almost all of our scheduled events. So this really means a significant reduction in our operating funds. We will get through this like many of us. We will have to just shift our focus and make adjustments. So in doing that, we've tried to, you know, create a bridging strategy, adopting webinar platforms such as what we're doing today in the short term. So we're offering continuing education credits where possible. And, you know, since our workshops have been postponed or canceled, we've provided educational credits in the past. We wanted to know if you are members, if you're looking for alternative ways for continuing education credits. This is an opportunity here. We'd like to have Brian, if you don't mind popping up the poll for us, and we'd like to know if you'd be interested, if you'd be interested in providing for Plan New Hampshire providing webinars for you to have that support of continuing education credits. You know, ask this time if you guys don't mind, you select one. We're already looking at moving some of our you know, past workshops that we had. We had one that was scheduled in March. We were looking at moving the pop-ups and other planning experiments to a webinar format. That's something that we'll hopefully be able to provide, and stay posted about that later this summer. So we're gonna, hopefully you guys all have the opportunity to engage and fill in on the either a yes or no to if you're interested in us providing those continuing education credits. And if we can, yeah, great, awesome. So let's move on, I think, to the next slide. So as I mentioned before, meanwhile, what are we doing at Plan? You know, we continue to push forward, make adjustments. We really, you know, we are dependent on membership renewals. They're vital during this time. But just to let you know, renewals are on track. We've even had some new members join, and that's really encouraging. We have applied for the Paycheck Protection Program. We're waiting approval on that. As most of you know, they've had a second wave of funding for that. We are participating in the New Hampshire Gives campaign, and again, we did that last year, and hope that you as members will consider to even a small donation during the New Hampshire Gives campaign. That's going to be June 9th and 10th. So, you know, keep an eye out for the email, as we will be sending that out shortly, and probably in the next, you know, couple weeks to get that started on that campaign. So any donation at this time, large, small, you know, will really help us with our operating funds. We are hopeful to have a few fall events, though. You know, our fall conference, which is scheduled for September 17th, you know, we're going to follow the CDC guidelines and what is recommended also by our own state. But we're trying to figure that out right now, and that's being reframed. We hope that it can be in person. However, once again, if we need to continue with the webinar format, we will. Our golf tournament, which we're really looking forward to, on October 7th at Canterbury Woods. Last year was a banner year for us. It really helped us out a lot, and the funding for operating costs. We hope that all of you are looking forward to that as well. That'll be October 7th at Canterbury Woods. So keep an eye out for that. We do continue with our charrettes. I mean, it's part of what everyone knows Plan New Hampshire is about providing charrettes to towns and communities. We did have one scheduled for this summer in Tilton, originally slated for July. We will be postponing. We don't have a confirmed date yet, but we will be postponing that to 2021. We are hopeful that the Wolfboro Charrette, that's on October 2nd and 3rd. If you are interested in participating in that, please visit our website. We do have a way in which you can volunteer or register, but you can also reach out to Robin. We have one of our board members, Jamie Simchek, as the lead for that charrette that's in Wolfboro on October 2nd and 3rd. So now we've got the website reveal. I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie, as she's worked really hard on, and as well as the marketing committee with Robin and Chris Nadeau from Novus Group, and we've had some great support as well from Designed by Shaw Creative. So I'm going to pass that on to Stephanie at this point.
Thanks, Amanda. Hi, everyone. Stephanie Crotto here. I wanted to thank you all again for taking time out of your morning to join us. I am very excited to share the next part of this presentation with you. For those of you that have visited our website recently, you know that we were due for an upgrade. We recruited Shaw Creative out of Manchester, New Hampshire to provide website design and development services to our organization. As part of this process, they were able to help us in figuring out which portions of the existing website users most frequently visited so that we can ensure we were highlighting the information that you found valuable. Internally, from the Marketing and Communications Committee, as Amanda mentioned, there was Robin LeBlanc, Chris Nadeau of Novus Group, and myself. We worked with Shaw Creative to provide content and assist in the overall design of the new website. Fred and Stacy Shaw were amazing to work with, and we would highly recommend using them for your website needs. This upgrade really was much needed and a long time coming, so I am really excited and thrilled to be able to share the first sneak peek of our website with you, our members. So when you enter the homepage of the site, you will instantly notice quite a few of the changes that we implemented. First, the site has a modern look and feel, and it is much easier to navigate. All of the photos that you see throughout have been pulled from past charrette projects, since that is the heart of our organization. I think that by making this a focal point within the website, it really highlights the talent of the designers across not only the Plan New Hampshire community, but the state as well. I wanted to highlight a few pages within the website to emphasize the ease of navigation and to also show you some of the pages that we think you will frequent the most. You've already seen the homepage, as I'm showing you here, so I won't dive into that any further, but just know that essentially the homepage is the hub that can lead you to many of the main areas of the site. The first area that I'm going to pull up is for our members. So this is an important aspect to what makes Plan New Hampshire is our members. So we created a page where you can meet our members. As you scroll through, you can find firms and individuals that are a part of our community. And for those scrolling through the site who are not yet a member, there is a link at the top where you can find out more on membership and register online. The next area I'm going to go to is our events page. As you know, Plan New Hampshire offers a variety of events throughout the years. We have created a page dedicated specifically to those upcoming events. Our favorite feature here is the ability that when you click on an event, you can add that event to your calendar and save the date of registration if it's not yet available. This will allow you to keep the date blocked off to avoid double booking yourself. Please note that the iCal export in here is what actually links into your Outlook calendar. Another great feature, since the Golf Classic is our largest event each year, we've created a separate page in the drop-down menu that's specific to that event. Information here will be updated regularly with new sponsor info and event details leading up to October each year. Now we're moving on to charrettes. So you might not even be aware of this, but previously Plan New Hampshire had two separate websites. There was the Plan New Hampshire site, and there was also Vibrant Villages. The Vibrant Villages site was where the charrette library from over the years could be found. We also use this platform to inform and inspire our readers through storytelling to further our vision of a healthy and vibrant New Hampshire. As you can imagine, there was a great deal of information stored here, but not everyone knew that the Vibrant Villages site even existed. Because of that, the decision was made to transition all of the data stored there into the new website, making it so that all Plan New Hampshire related information could be found in one central location. So on this page is where you can find information on all upcoming charrettes and where municipalities can download the application to apply for a charrette. You also have the library, where you can find all of the charrettes from over the years in one central location. So if you ever wanted to look up something that happened in a past town or city, you can find it here. I don't want to take up too much more of your time going through the website at this time anyways, but I highly recommend that you check it out on your own following the webinar. You can do so by visiting plannh.org. Again, we're very excited to have gotten the opportunity to share this new and improved site with you first, and we really look forward to getting your feedback on it. Amanda, I will now turn it back over to you. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, thanks so much, Stephanie. The website looks great. You guys did a great job. Yeah, I encourage everyone to go out on our website, take a look at our new website, a little fresh look going on. So once again, thanks, Stephanie, for doing that. At this time, we are going to move on to doing some Q&A. We'd love to for you to ask questions. Type your questions into the chat box. Raise your hand on the button on the control panel. We can enable your audio. And also, in the meantime, we'd love to hear from Brian. If anyone wasn't able to see in the chat box, what did we get a good response from the polling?
We did. Hold on, let me just share my webcam. Hi, everyone. Brian Pratt, Frantz ONeill. We had 84% say yes, they would be interested. So that's a great response. Appreciate everyone participating in that poll. We did have a couple of questions that popped up throughout in the chat box. So the first one was a question about what are the webinars, like what's the content of the webinars?
So Robin, I'm gonna turn that over to you. And
that's a great question. We are still framing those webinars. There's still a lot of things to be thinking about. But one of the things that, and we're still trying to really kind of narrow it down with our mission is to inform and inspire our members and other people about ideas and trends that contribute to healthy places and vibrant places. That's always been what we're about. So going forward, we're thinking, okay, what do we need to be thinking differently so that we can really, we're talking about bouncing back. People talk about resilience and bouncing back, but this is a really great opportunity to think a little bit differently about our future. And are there things that are being revealed through all of this that we never noticed before? And maybe we can start addressing them as we start planning and designing into our new future that we're going to have for ourselves. So we're going to be thinking about different things like housing. How do we need to be thinking differently about housing? How do we need to be thinking differently about transportation options? How do we need to be thinking differently about the design of our communities? Who do we need to be taking into account that we haven't before? So it's just, there's going to be a lot of different topics that all focused on thinking in different ways and thinking about things we may not have thought about before, but still staying very true to our mission. I also want to thank you all for wanting to. We've always had almost always offered credits, so I'm glad that you find that that's still helpful. And that's one thing that when we have to apply for credits for each of the webinars that we do, so there is a little bit of lag time. But we will be putting together an agenda over the next 2 or 3 weeks, at least a preliminary one for you. So stay tuned for that.
Great. And thank you, Thomas Howard, for that question. We have a question from Stu Arnett. He says, are we keeping the Vibrant Villages tagline?
No, we are not. We thought that was way long ago that with Vibrant Villages, we thought that creating a Vibrant Villages website, it was meant to be a source of information for people to go to for ideas and so forth, what we do through our webinars. But we just found with the staffing and everything else, we just couldn't keep up with it. So Vibrant Villages, but as a tagline, will no longer be with us, but it's certainly part of our vision is Vibrant Villages and vibrant communities in New Hampshire. So we're keeping that somehow, and we want to kind of weave that term and that concept through all of the work we do.
Great, good question. Thank you for that, Stu. The next question is from Robert White. He says, is there a way to see everyone who's on? I do have an attendees list, and I could I could share my screen if everyone wants to see that quickly. That's okay. Anyone?
I think Bob is talking about seeing all of us who are on here, the actual videos.
Oh. Oh, you're saying like see every attendee's videos. Well, there's 30 something people. I think we're limited to like 10 or 15. I don't know if I can enable the video for all the attendees. No, I can't turn the videos on for the attendees.
I think because we did this in a webinar format, only the panelists can be viewed at this time.
Plus, we didn't want you to have to change out of your pajamas if you didn't want to.
True,
Thanks,
true.
Stephanie.
Bob said he's used to Zoom meetings where everyone can be on.
Yeah.
I mean, I could technically make everyone a panelist, but that might be with GoToWebinar it might not work as well as Zoom. It's much more secure though.
Yeah.
Looks like Bob wants to be online. Stu's asking me to put Bob online. Bob, you want to go online? He said he's got pants on, so all right, let me put Bob on. It looks like he really wants to be on. Let's see.
Bob. Anybody else have any questions? We're here for you. Just anything that you want to know about the organization, about our programs, anything like that. That's why we're here.
And if you don't feel like you want to ask the question in a webinar format, we do have Robin's email address listed here. So if you do want to ask questions on the side, you are more than welcome to, and you can email them directly to her.
Yes.
Bob, we got you on. We got a nice view of your coffee.
Well, yes, and like I said, if you have any questions going forward or interested in participating, whether it be participating in one of our webinars, whether it be participating in a charrette that we have this fall with Wolfboro, please reach out to Robin. I'm sure we can make sure you get connected to the right folks. So thanks again.
And we did actually get one more question from Randy Knowles. It says, was the deadline for award submission extended?
For the Merit Awards? It had already been extended once. It's due May 5th. If you need extra time, call me or email me. But right now it's due May 5th.
Okay, great. We got a couple more questions rolling in. Another one from Stu. Great. Thank you for helping to keep this going. Don't feel bad about hogging the questions. He said, we think the Plan New Hampshire MTAG works well. Future of that HFA relationship, and does it help with our funding?
Good question. We do get a little bit of admin fees from the MTAG program. The MTAG program, the Municipal Technical Assistance Grant program, is funded by New Hampshire Housing, and we are administering it. We have an advisory board of about 12 people from all across the state, all different disciplines, OSI, planners, etc. And it's been going on since 2016, and we have funded 13 projects since 2016, which is quite a bit. Funding goes up to $20,000 for a community to hire a consultant to take a look at housing needs. This is all about housing. Take a look at your housing needs. What do you really need? And then take a look at the zoning. Does the zoning support that? And if it does or doesn't, if you need to rewrite your zoning ordinances or create new ones to support what the community needs for housing. The key ingredients to that are community engagement. It's absolutely critical that the community is engaged in dialogues from the get-go, so the consultant can't just look at data and go, oh, this is what the community needs. It's really through discussions and talking that the community can figure that out, and the consultant can help with that. So we have, and New Hampshire Housing continues to fund it year after year, And as far as our finances, we do get some admin dollars, but it's an amazing program, and it's a great program where we can have a direct impact on communities, working with them to help them figure out this really sticky, sometimes mess that can be housing and providing places to live for people in their community. Thanks, Stu. Good question. Transparency, Stu is one of our consultants, is in that program. The community chooses a consultant, and we just have to approve them. But yeah, great. Good job.
Great, thanks for that. We got a couple more questions. Rick Sawyer says, are scholarship applications as strong as usual?
I don't know that yet. We're doing it this year through directly through New Hampshire, the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation. We've always partnered with them for our scholarships and fellowship program with us for the program. And this year, the decision was made that all of the applications would go through them instead of our applications coming directly to us. And then we work with them to get them dispersed. So I do not, because everything went right through them, I have absolutely no idea how it is. I do know of 2 or 3 applications that we got, but as far as the volume compared to the years before, I don't know. And this also opens up that some people may not be looking specifically for us, but they may qualify for one of our programs, one of our scholarships. Good question. Thanks, Rick.
Great. We have another one from Gordon Levy. He says, have you explored additional opportunities for partnering with other agencies or organizations in facilitating research into planning community development issues? NHHFA, AIA, ASLA, etc. Since land use and development is tied to our community physical and economic health, it may be helpful to broaden our connection.
We absolutely have great relationships with New Hampshire Housing, with AIA, with the Planners Association, with the landscape architects, and the RPCs. We work with a variety of different organizations. As a matter of fact, I have an appointment next week to talk with Jennifer Goodman with the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance. We've always had a great relationship, and we're going to talk about potentially partnering just programs. To get back to we have a new potential partner, and you're talking about research and so forth. We were approached by the Housing We Need Task Force, Max Latona at St. Anselm Center for Ethics, and he reached out to us and said, let's talk about what you're doing and what we're doing, and how can we partner together and really stay in concert with each other. So we've just started conversations about that. And I think there's a lot of good opportunities for going forward, working with them. Good question, Gordon. Thank you.
Great. We have one more from Thomas Howard. He says, who decides what the Plan New Hampshire programs will be and what the topics will be?
We have a whole program committee. I kind of dream them up. But I have a program committee that I bounce the ideas off of. Certainly it's not my decision alone. So we have a group of people that works together to take a look at that and make suggestions and make refinements. And it's going to be a little bit different this year because we're probably going to be doing more programs than we usually do because we'll be doing them online. But there is a whole committee of about, I don't know, 10 or 12 people that will be working together to do that. And certainly if you or anybody else is interested in participating in that, absolutely, we would welcome your input. That'd be great. Thank you. Thanks, Thomas. Good idea. Good question.
Okay. And then Stu Arnett just posted the link to Shaw Creative's website. I assume giving him credit because he's so happy with how great our new website looks like.
Thanks, Stu.
Smiley face. Thanks, Stu. I think that's it for questions.
Great. Anybody else?
Thanks, Brian, for running behind the scenes. We really appreciate it. Robin, I'm going
Anytime.
to turn it over to you to do the closing remarks.
Thanks, Amanda. This has been great. I'm sorry it's a little one-sided that I'm not able to see you. I agree with Bob. It would have been nice if we could all see each other. But first of all, I want to thank, again, Frantz ONeill. Plan New Hampshire does have a Zoom account, but it's limited. And when we decided to do this, we realized even with the next steps going up with Zoom, we wouldn't have been able to do it the way we wanted to here, or the way that Stephanie and Amanda wanted to. And so and Frantz ONeill stepped right up and said, yes, let's help you do that. So I want to thank Jim Whitehouse over at Frantz ONeill, who helped us set this all up. And then certainly Brian, whom you just saw, he's on our board, and he really has been great about giving support to plan and also support for all of this. And Stephanie and Amanda really put this together, especially Stephanie with all these beautiful slides and putting together all of that, and Amanda helped manage that. So I really appreciate them stepping up. This is something new for us. I feel like I've got a whole staff now, which is great, but they are volunteering their time, a lot of time, which is awesome. So I really want to thank them for doing what they did. Going forward, this is for you. We really want to bring information and inspiration to each of you in the work that you do, so that you can think about how can the work that you do contribute even more to healthy and vibrant communities going forward in the state of New Hampshire, in your own community, in your own region. And that's what we're all about. So please, we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to work with you, and we're here to gather ideas. And if there's something in particular you want to see addressed, please let us know. We'd love to talk to you about that. And we think that we can really continue to make a difference here in the state of New Hampshire, but we can't do it without you. We're doing this for you, but it's also through you and with you. So please, thank you so much for doing this. If you think maybe we could do this again in a couple or 3 months, I'd love to see what you think about that, because I'm thinking that maybe that's something that we can do. But meanwhile, stay safe, stay warm and dry today, and drop me a note if you've got some ideas. We'd love to hear from you. And again, thank you. And with that, we will close this webinar. Thank you so much.